You're at a neighborhood barbecue, and the conversation turns to money, specifically making money work for you. Your neighbor, Steve, mentions how he's been receiving regular checks from an investment he made a few years back. It's not a fortune, he says, but it's like a paycheck that shows up without me doing anything extra. Makes life a little easier, you know? Another neighbor chimes in, talking about rental properties and how the monthly rent checks have helped her stay comfortable during some tough times. She's got a smile on her face, and you can tell she's proud of the decision she made years ago. Now you start to wonder, how do people like Steve and your neighbor set themselves up to have that steady stream of income? Is it luck, timing, or is there a smarter way to make investments that actually generate regular returns? In today's video, we're breaking down the best investments for generating regular income. Whether you're just starting to explore investment options or looking to add more to your portfolio, we'll walk through some of the most reliable choices, from dividend stocks to real estate, and show you how to create that steady cash flow that can give you peace of mind for years to come. Let's start with real estate investment trusts, or as you might have heard, REITs. Now, if you've ever dreamed of owning property, like an apartment building, shopping mall, or even commercial office space, but didn't want the headaches of managing tenants and maintenance, REITs are the perfect solution. Here's how it works. A REIT is essentially a company that owns and operates income-producing real estate. They take care of the heavy lifting, buying, managing, and maintaining the properties. And when these properties generate income, mostly through rent, they pass that money back to you in the form of dividends. Think of it as a way to invest in real estate without having to become a landlord yourself. You don't need a huge sum of money to get started. Just a couple of $100 and you're in. The best part? REITs are legally required to pay out at least 90% of their income to shareholders, which means you can expect steady payouts. And unlike owning a single property, where your income could dry up if a tenant moves out, REITs spread their risk across many properties. It's diversified, hands-off, and pays out regularly. That's the trifecta of a great investment, don't you think? So if real estate has ever caught your eye, but you didn't want the hassle, REITs might be your best bet for a consistent income stream. Next up, let's talk about dividend stocks. If you've never heard of dividends before, here's the quick rundown. When you own shares in certain companies, they'll pay you a portion of their profits, just for holding onto your stock. This payout is called a dividend, and it happens regularly, usually every quarter. Now here's the thing, not all companies pay dividends, but the ones that do tend to be well-established businesses with a track record of stability and success. We're talking about companies that have been around for decades, like Coca-Cola, Johnson & Johnson, and Procter & Gamble. These companies aren't just surviving, they're thriving, and they reward their shareholders with a cut of their profits. Here's where it gets interesting. Even though the stock price itself might fluctuate, those dividend payments keep coming. It's like getting a paycheck, even if the stock market has a bad day. And if you're smart, you can reinvest those dividends, buying more shares, which in turn earns you even more dividends. This snowball effect is powerful. Your income compounds over time, which means your portfolio grows faster, and before you know it, those dividends can add up to a significant chunk of change. Some investors even live entirely off their dividend income. Now, wouldn't that be something? If you're looking for something a little more modern, let's talk about peer-to-peer lending. This is where you become the bank. Through online platforms, you can lend money directly to individuals or small businesses, and in return, they pay you back with interest. Here's how it works. Let's say someone needs a loan to start a small business, but they don't want to go through a traditional bank. They hop onto a peer-to-peer platform, and you, along with other investors, lend them the money they need. Over time, they pay back that loan, plus interest, which goes straight into your pocket. The beauty of this system is that you can start with small amounts of money. You don't need thousands to see a return. You can spread your investments across multiple loans, minimizing your risk while earning consistent, reliable interest payments. But with every investment, there's risk. The borrower might default on the loan, which is why it's essential to diversify. However, the potential returns on peer-to-peer lending can be higher than many traditional investments, sometimes even hitting double digits. It's a new, tech-driven way to create regular income, and for those willing to explore something different, the rewards can be significant. For those who prefer tried-and-true methods, bonds might be your answer. A bond is essentially a loan you give to a government or a corporation, and in exchange, they agree to pay you interest on that loan. Bonds are one of the oldest and safest ways to invest and generate regular income. There are two main types to consider: government bonds and corporate bonds. Government bonds, like US Treasuries, are seen as some of the safest investments in the world. The government promises to pay you back with interest, and the likelihood of them defaulting is extremely low. Corporate bonds, on the other hand, involve lending money to businesses. While they offer higher returns than government bonds, they also come with a bit more risk. But here's the thing: both types of bonds pay out interest regularly, making them ideal for creating a steady income stream. So if safety and predictability are what you're after, bonds are an excellent choice for steady, reliable income. You won't see huge returns like with stocks, but for those looking for security, bonds are hard to beat. Rental properties, the gold standard for generating regular income. There's a reason so many investors flock to real estate. When you own a rental property, you're essentially getting paid every month, like clockwork, as long as you have tenants. Imagine owning an apartment, a duplex, or even a small house. You rent it out, and every month that rent payment comes in. If your property is well maintained and in a good location, this can provide a very stable, long-term income stream. But rental properties aren't without their challenges. You'll need to manage tenants, handle repairs, and ensure the property is always occupied. However, many savvy investors hire property managers to take care of the day-to-day tasks, making the process almost entirely hands-off. Plus, as the years go by, the property itself may appreciate, giving you a nice bonus if you ever decide to sell. The key here is doing your homework. Choosing the right property in the right location can make all the difference. If you're more on the conservative side and want something ultra-safe, high-yield savings accounts and certificates of deposit, CDs, might be your go-to option. High-yield savings accounts offer interest rates that are much higher than traditional savings accounts. You won't see life-changing returns, but it's a low-risk way to earn steady income while keeping your money accessible. Certificates of deposit work a little differently. You lock your money away for a set period, like 6 months or a year, and in return, you get a guaranteed interest rate. The longer you're willing to lock up your funds, the higher the return. It's not the most exciting option, but it's safe, predictable, and a great way to park your money while earning a bit of extra income on the side. Wrapping up. So there you have it. Whether you're into real estate, the stock market, peer-to-peer lending, or even more traditional methods like bonds and savings accounts, the key is to start. The sooner you begin investing, the sooner your money can start working for you. Remember, building a regular income stream through smart investments isn't just for the wealthy, it's for anyone who's willing to take that first step. So what are you waiting for? Start investing today and let your money work for you.